This topic was born out of a conversation. Like most of my videos are mostly from life experiences, questions, what people just throw at me all of a sudden. And I was having a conversation with someone one time, and she just goes, oh, my brother is studying, he's in school right now, and the agent that did his admission told him that when he's done in school, he's just gonna apply for PR immediately. And I'm like, dum. Like, it's just gonna apply for PR immediately. No, I just informed that no, that's not the correct position of things. And I think that that's what a lot of people think about. Like, oh, you come to study in Canada and then you just get your PR. It doesn't work that way. Which brings me to today's video. Today's video is going to be, does studying in Canada gives automatic PR? Does studying in Canada leads to automatic permanent residency? So if you're interested in this topic, stick around and let's get right into it. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Suleeha here again, and it's a brand new day. It's so beautiful outside. It's getting cold. I hope you're enjoying wherever you are watching me from the world. And if you don't know me, I'm a Nigerian YouTuber residing in Ontario, Canada. My content spans from vlogs to talks, and most importantly DIY immigration to Canada. I talk about anything immigration to Canada or visit to Canada. So if my content is your type of content, please stick around, take a look at my other video, just take it all around, see what you like, and then if you find it very informative and you want to stick around, please do not forget to subscribe before you leave. So today's topic, studying in Canada leading to automatic PR. And I have seen a lot of people talk about the fact that, oh, can I use studying in Canada to actually become a PR? Yes, absolutely correct, fantastic. It is one way to actually migrate to Canada, even though your intention is to temporarily come and study in Canada. But yes, while you're in Canada, you can build up the ladder. Don't forget what I said. Build up the ladder from being a student to being a permanent residency. It is absolutely possible. Studying has been one of the one of the ways that people have been using to come to Canada. Basically is what people have come into the Canada. You see people say that I came to Canada to study 6 years ago. I am now a Canadian citizen, or I am now a Canadian PR. So yes, you can absolutely come to Canada as a student, work your way up to becoming a PR, then eventually becoming a citizen. But does coming to Canada to study automatically gives you the permanent residence? Absolutely not. You have to work your way around that. You have to put some things in order. You need to know what to do before you can become a PR. It is not handed out to you like a party pack. You have to work. You have to work to become a permanent resident. It's not just going to be, oh, you're done with school. I've heard that some provinces tell people to come to their province. They do like a student program. You be in the country for 6 months, you study for 6 months, and then they tell you you can then apply for permanent residency. So many provinces with so many rules and regulations. But is it automatic? It is absolutely not. Next line of question, why are you coming to Canada? Why did you come here to study? What is next after studying? Have you put anything in place? Do you just want to come here and then think about your plans when you get here? Is that what you intend to do? Those are the genuine questions that I think that you should be asking yourself before you embark on any journey, especially becoming a student. See, let me tell you something. If you're a student in Canada, you work hard. There's so many assignments for you to do. You cannot rely on the fact that, oh, I'm just going to come here, work, and then do all other things. It is extremely hard to combine anything in Canada. It is so hard. So you need to think about your goals first. You need to think about those questions that I just asked before you can then, put in your next line of action into work. So in all of this, I have had to bring about 6 questions. I had to write it down. So I wrote out 6 questions that you should be asking yourself before even embarking to study in Canada. And the first thing is your course a 1-year course? You know the drill. If you come to Canada to study for 1 year, you get a 1-year work permit. And then if you don't get a job before or after your 1-year work permit, you know the drill. You go back home or you find another pathway. So the next question is, do you intend to do another course that's a top-up course, which makes your a course plus another course? So 1 + 1. You do one course. When you're done with that course, you do another course, making a 2-year course. Is your course going to be that way? When you come into the country, do you have plans of doing another course so that at the end of that course, you get a 3 years work permit? Is that what your aim is? Question is that course that you're doing, is it in demand in any province in Canada, to which when you are done, you could easily get a job that would sponsor you, or in fact, you could get a job that will enable you put yourself in a position that when you enter into the express entry pool, you will be considered first. Is that the type of course that you're studying? The next question, which is the 4th question, is, do you intend to get into the express entry pool, or do you intend to apply for one of those provincial nominee of one of the several pathways that we have for you to become a permanent resident in Canada? Do you have that in mind? Or do you intend to create a CEC, get into also the Express Entry program, which is, or Express Entry pathway rather, which is one of the programs under the Express Entry pathways, which is the Canadian Experience class? Do you intend to apply for that while you're in Canada? Or is LMIA your priority? Do you intend to finish school, finish out of school, then get a job that is willing to sponsor you? Is that what you want to do? Or finally, do you want to go back home? So those are the questions that I have kind of like streamlined out when I was thinking about these questions, that before you attempt to come and study in Canada, those questions need to be answered, you know, before you can then decide to do that. This is what is going to happen after study. You cannot leave your after study in abeyance. You can't just leave it. It has to be something that you need to fix up, a short-term goal, long-term goal. You need to deal with it right on from the onset, because 1 year goes really fast. 2 years, in fact, goes really fast. Even though there's a lot of things that you can do within 2 years, there's absolutely very little thing that you can do within 1 year. Which brings me to my next discussion, which is, how do you then position yourself for PR? And here I'm just going to be sharing a generic advice. The first thing is the fact that immediately you apply to come to school in Canada, you need to think about the option that suits you. Do you qualify for Express Entry? Do you qualify for PMP? Take a look at everything. Look at what works for you. If you do not qualify for all of that, is getting a job your priority? Where do I find those jobs? How do I do that? Where do I network? Who are the people that I need to talk to? Because like I said, 1 year goes really, really fast. You need to put yourself in a position that when it gets there, it's not going to shock you. You're going to be prepared. The next thing is, are you already in the pool before you left Nigeria, or before you left whichever country you're coming from? Are you already in the Express Entry pool? Are you just waiting to have your education and top up your program? If that's the case, do that. Get into the pool, had your education. But I always advise people that while you do that, it's either you look for a job or you do a top-up course, so that you have at least 3 years within which you're waiting to be picked from the pool, or within which you're waiting to figure things out. Like I said, 1 year is really small to do anything. So those are the things that I feel like you need to do to be able to put yourself in that position. You need to make sure that you are, you're doing everything right in terms of, okay, what do I need to do immediately after school? I think most of the time, once you're done with school, you have like 4 months or 3 months left, and then you need to look for ways to extend your visa. Do you want to extend your visa because you want to do another course, or you want to extend your visa because you want to apply for a work permit? And 1 year work permit, 1 year, or 2 years, 3 years. So the choice is yours. Pick your poison. The other thing that I'm just going to say is planning strategy. Planning strategy. You don't just come into Canada and say, oh, I've got into abroad. I have arrived. I have left Nigeria. I have arrived. No, you don't do that. You come into this country, you plan, you strategize, you leave a little bit, but then let the most be all about planning. You are not sorted because the visa that you got, the study permit visa that you got, it's a temporary visa. It is not a permanent status. It's a temporary one. And like I said, you need to figure out what you want to do. Nobody is going to hand you PR like a party pack. Nobody's going to do that. Nobody's going to hand you PR. You need to figure out, of all of the options that I have said, you need to figure out what you want to do. Is it getting a job that has an LMIA? Is it getting in the pool for you to be able to work, for you to be able to be picked from the pool and then to apply for permanent residency? And once you do that, you can, there's something they call bridging, I think bridging work permit. I think in the sense that you already have an application inside with IRCC. In that way, you don't need to go back while your application for permanent residency is being processed. All you just need is a bridging work permit to bridge from wherever you're coming from to the permanent residency. So from a temporary residence to a permanent residence. And then one important thing that I will always say is that while you're thinking of getting in the pool, be very strategic. Position yourself. There's a new category-based express entry. Look at the category-based express entry. Look at what you've done. Look at your roles. Are there any transferable skills similar to what they have on the category-based express entry? Fill out those ones and then let that be the topmost, so that at least you know that when they are picking for category, you are going to be part of those people that are going to be picked. Express entry is all about positioning right now. It's no longer business as usual. So you need to be able to position yourself in such a way that when they pick people, you would be part of the people that will be picked. So in conclusion, I don't think I've really said so much because there's really nothing much to say. In clear terms and in simple terms, I would just like to say that find what works for you, find the pathways, even though the pathways are different. And I would also say that networking is very important. Information is very key. Move with people that have this information. Don't come into the country and think that you can do things on your own. It is not possible. Find your tribe, find your community, see how people are actually doing these things, and then move on from there. I hope that you've been able to learn a thing or two. Like I said, studying in Canada does not automatically mean that you're going to get a PR. If you do not position yourself properly, nothing is going to show for you. So you need to put yourself in a position where you need to, you're in a good standing. You know that if anything happens, you don't have to panic. And always do not leave things in last minute rush. You're then rushing, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? Even if your intention is to do a top-up course, before you're rounding off your first course, make sure that you already have your admission, make sure that you've already paid your tuition. All of those things will help you, and then you won't need to rush. So I hope that you've been able to pick a thing or two. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of this video, and I'll see you guys back in my next video. Bye.